on, guys? And this video I'm going to do for you right now is a simple bait fish pattern. It's going to look like this, but I'm going to do a different color variation, if you can see that. Super simple craftfur bait fish. You can use it for white trout, speckled trout. I'm sure redfish would eat it. Anything that's going to eat a small bait fish will go after this pattern. So we're going to go ahead and get our hook in the vise. And the hook I'm using for this is a Mustad 94151. It's a short shank saltwater hook. If I can grab it for you. To our vise. And the thread I'm going to use is a Danville's 210 denier in white. So we'll just start a thread, and we don't have to go very far back. So we're not going to use the entire shank. About right there is fine. Now for our tail section, we're going to take a piece of craftfur, and in this case I'm using chartreuse. A couple good clumps of it, maybe 3 decent sized clumps to build up a decent little body on it. Alright, so we got a decent clump. Doesn't have to be super thick. About like that. Take your comb and brush out the underfluff on it, or the underfur. For the length of your body, I like to have kind of a longer body on this pattern. Tie it in just behind the eye of the hook. Put some good tight thread wraps in that. Make sure it's locked down. And come in with your scissors and trim out all this excess. Take your thread and come in and try to clean a lot of this up, and what can't get cleaned up we'll trim off, where you go back and you can burn it off with a lighter. Next, one of the things I like to do with it is take some of this fluoro fiber and tie in a few strands around the body. You don't need very much. Get all that locked in. I like to take my brush and blend that fiber, that fur fiber, into the craft fur. Just gives it that extra little bait fish shimmer in the body. Next, we're going to take some ice dub and silver holographic. And again, you don't need very much, just a light pinch of it. And tie that right on top. And take the rest and fold it back. Take your brush and go over it. Help blend it in. Next, we're going to take some ice dub and UV pearl. Again, small pinch. You want a little less than the holographic. And same thing, tie it right on top of the holographic. Pull off the extra strands that fall off. And once again, fold it back. Tie over it. Get that all nice and locked down. Take your brush once again and blend all them fibers. For the last part of the tying section, we're going to take some ice dub and UV fluorescent hot pink. Grab a decent little pinch. Just a tad more. And with the pink, I'm going to flip the fly upside down. Going to tie it in right in the bottom. Doesn't sit right, take it, manipulate it, force it to go where you want it to. Take your thumb and push into it, kind of roll those fibers. You just take the rest without hooking yourself, pull them back, which for me is a lot easier said than done. Take your thread, those fibers pulled back, and just catch them go too much to the side. You can always take your thumb and push into them and try to get them to where you want. And right here in front of the pink, build up a slight little head for our eyes. Snip off this extra stuff right here. For the pink fiber, you can take your bodkin and split it between the hook and the hook. Get it and just pull it straight back and give you a nice little belly on the fly. And for the little bit that's covering the eye of the hook, don't worry about it, because you can go back later with a lighter and you can burn that off. For now, of this thread, we're going to go ahead and whip finish. We're going to cut the white thread off, and I'm going to do contrasting color of red for the head of the fly. Sometimes it's hard to grab smaller pieces of thread, but you can always fix that problem. And all we're going to do with the red is lay down a nice little base, cover up the white, just to add a little extra to the fly. Trim off our tag end. Didn't quite get it all there. And once again, go ahead and whip finish the head of the fly. So we're done with the tying. Cinch your knot down and cut your thread off. Here you can clean up the head some if you have too many wild fibers hanging all over the place. this fly, I like to put eyes on it, and I'm going to use these 1/4 inch yellow stick-on eyes. Get in there from a bodkin and get them out. For this, I like to put just a tad of super glue on where I plan on putting them. Then you can try to work off one of these flies, or one of these eyes here. Gotta lift it up and get it with your bodkin. And usually once you just touch it to the super glue, it'll stay, and then you kind of get it to face how you want. Doesn't have to be perfect. And the same thing on the opposite side. Try to get them as even as possible. And that looks pretty good. Once you get them on there, I like to use this Lone Outdoors thick formula. It's the thick UV resin. Come between the eyes. Build up a decent little amount. We'll do this in stages. Probably do 2 stages on top and 2 on bottom, just to really make sure they're locked in. Once you get some resin on there, let it kind of sit in place for a second and then zap it with your light. Bottom. And again, a rotary vise does make this easier, especially if you can't take the fly off very easy and move it around to how you need. And doing this will really bulletproof the eyes so that when a fish strikes it after a few fish, you don't have to worry about the eyes falling off. Come back to the top of the fly and build up more resin just to top off the last little gap we have there. And you can take the tip of your bottle or your bodkin and you can move the resin to where you need it. I got a little much there, so I'm going to go ahead and put some around the eyes just to protect that coating they have on them. Keep them shiny. And we're ready to cure again. And there you go. That is all there is to this craftfur bait fish. Like I said, you can throw it for specks, white trout, bluefish. I'm sure Spanish would eat it. Just a good all-around bait fish. Super light, easy to throw, easy to tie up. So thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. There will be more videos coming. Give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching.